You know, people start to think I've got some weird obsession with this woman because I'm clearly not a fan, and she's really outdone herself, I think, this time. Meghan has now released a rosé, a wine, which will set you back around 45 Australian dollars, 30 US dollars, but has launched this rosé on Diana's birthdays.
Meghan's apricot spread are now being told their orders can't be fulfilled. The company says demand was higher than expected, and they're going to have to issue refunds. In an email to customers, they wrote, "Due to high demand, we are unable to fulfill your order of the apricot spread at this time. We are refunding your purchase by the end of this week."
But let's move on to the Sussexes, one of our favourite topics. Meghan Markle, her lifestyle company, as ever, another silly name for a brand. She just can't get the namings and the branding right.
It truly is. Meghan Markle simply cannot seem to run a business to save her life because we have like several issues coming into play this week. The first is that Meghan's wine launched, her rosé wine, sold out again suspiciously in 45 minutes.
So on the 1st of July, she has launched this Napa Valley rosé wine, which apparently captures the essence of sun-drenched outdoor moments. And clearly from her well-photoshopped picture.
This is a growing problem, and this is something Meghan Markle has to solve, and that she's still, I think, going on this scarcity tactic is going to absolutely tank her brand.
Meghan's also promising them a free jar, but like Rita, there's a severe difference between hype or exclusivity and operational and logistical failure, and Meghan Markle is the latter.
Is just going to tick people off, and she's already doing it to her fans. Some of even her most uber fans aren't getting what they paid for, and you cannot sustain this forever.
That's what she's been planning to do. But the fact that Diana was killed in a car accident with a drink driver, and Meghan, in all of her wisdom, has decided to launch wine with an announcement of the sparkling wine to follow on Diana's birthday.
Yet at the same time, for this launch, for a wine nobody has tasted, you had to buy 3 bottles. In addition to that, we also have apparently some people aren't going to get the apricot spread that they paid for, only a refund, because apparently, again, Meghan Markle cannot stock enough.
I love how they're selling this as that demand is just so high, as if they can't. I mean, what sort of a operation has she got that she can't manufacture a few more jam jars? I mean, we're not talking about a complicated product here.
Welcome back, you guys. And today we have to talk about Meghan Markle because she is once again facing some serious heat online. This time over wine, branding, and what many are calling a calculated move that's rubbing people the wrong way. So, picture this. She drops a fancy bottle of rosé on the exact same day as Princess Diana's birthday. Yeah, that alone has people asking, was it a heartfelt tribute, a bold marketing play, or something way more strategic? And that's not even where the drama ends. Meghan's lifestyle brand, as ever, just had another embarrassing moment with their latest product rollout. This time, it's not jam or jelly, it's an apricot spread. Fans rushed to buy it, only to hit website errors, overcharges, and delayed deliveries. Some even said they paid and got nothing. And now, refunds are being issued left and right. People are frustrated, and it's giving major déjà vu because this isn't the first time her products have caused chaos at checkout. Now, the internet is completely split. On one hand, her defenders are saying, relax, it's just a product launch glitch. But on the other, critics are calling it a pattern, and not a cute one.
Now, Kinsey, you've got some exclusive information about the launch of Meghan's new rosé. She released a 2023 Napa Valley rosé on the same day as the late Princess Diana's birthday.
Some are saying it's giving out-of-touch rich girl energy. Others are genuinely questioning if Meghan's building a luxury lifestyle empire or just overhyping exclusive pantry items that don't actually deliver. And then there's the timing. I mean, launching alcohol on the birthday of Diana, who tragically passed in an accident that reportedly involved alcohol. That's bold. Some royal watchers are even calling it cruel and saying she's hijacking Diana's legacy for personal gain. Meanwhile, Prince William's camp is reportedly not amused. So without further ado, let's break down what exactly is going on with Meghan's latest drop, the wine, the refunds, and whether this is all a branding masterclass or a PR mess waiting to spiral. All right, so let's get into the wine situation first because it really set the internet off. Meghan Markle quietly dropped a limited edition rosé under her lifestyle brand As Ever on July 1st. Now, if that date rings a bell, it should. It's Princess Diana's birthday, and this wasn't just any soft launch. It was sleek, polished, sold in sets of 3, and completely sold out within an hour.
And again, sold out, sold out, sold out. By the way, that was the second time Meghan's had to issue refunds because she didn't have enough product. I'm curious to see if the rosé, anybody that purchased the rosé will get a similar email saying, oops, sorry, we don't have the actual product you purchased.
But the real headline wasn't the sellout, it was the timing. Social media lit up with people pointing out that Diana's tragic passing had connections to a late-night car crash that involved a driver reportedly under the influence. So to launch an alcohol product, specifically wine, on that exact date? Yeah, that left a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths. Some even called it cruelly ironic. Others saw it as a subtle jab or a PR move designed to dominate the news cycle on a day that would otherwise be focused entirely on Diana's legacy. Royal commentators didn't hold back either. Some insiders reportedly close to Prince William's camp said the timing wasn't lost on him and that he's come to expect this sort of thing from Meghan. And while there's been no official statement, the tension is definitely being felt. Especially considering how private William is about his mother's memory, this move was seen by some as crossing a line. But Meghan's team, on the other hand, sees things differently. They're reportedly highlighting the fact that July 1st was also the day Meghan and Harry first connected back in 2016. In that context, they're saying it's actually a meaningful day in her personal life, not just a royal flashpoint.
But as you know, Diana tragically lost her life in a car crash by an impaired driver. Making the decision to launch an alcohol brand on Princess Diana's birthday by Meghan, not just tone deaf, but deeply insensitive. And a source close to the royal household told me it's not lost on Prince William that Meghan has launched an alcohol brand on his mother's birthday, the very mum he lost in a drink driving tragedy.
And to be fair, that detail has been confirmed before. Harry himself mentioned it in an interview. So it's complicated. Was it a genuine tribute? A subtle reclaiming of a special date? Or just really questionable timing? Either way, people are still debating it, and not in a small way. Reddit threads are full of theories, Twitter timelines are messy, and the media isn't exactly going soft on her. It's turning into one of those moments where brand image, royal history, and internet culture all collide, and not in a gentle way. And just when people thought the backlash might cool down, something else happened. So, while the wine drama was still trending, Meghan's brand got hit with yet another wave of backlash, this time over a jar of apricot spread. Sounds harmless, right? But nope, this one turned into a full-blown customer service nightmare in a matter of hours. Here's what went down. On June 20th, As Ever released its next product drop, an artisanal apricot jam-style spread. It followed the same aesthetic Meghan's been pushing with the brand. Minimalistic labels, a very California kitchen meets royal pantry vibe. People were hyped, especially after the buzz around the earlier strawberry jam jars that were gifted to influencers. But as soon as the product went live, the website reportedly started glitching. Buyers were getting error messages, duplicate charges, and in some cases, their orders were processed, but then they never got a confirmation or tracking info. Just nothing. And the backlash came fast.
When I asked if there was anger around Meghan using Diana's birthday to promote her commercial products, they said it's what he's come to expect from her. He doesn't think much of her. And they said that William and Catherine have become quite good at ignoring the Sussexes, but anything to do with his mother is still a tender spot. I'm curious to know your opinion.
Social media users called the brand out for poor planning, saying things like, how does a duchess with $1 billion network have a website that crashes during a jam sale? Others claimed the site looked unfinished and compared it to a college-level e-commerce project. Ouch. Eventually, Meghan's team stepped in and issued a statement apologizing for the technical mess. And to smooth things over, they said they'd be issuing full refunds and sending a free jar to affected customers anyway. Some fans appreciated the gesture, but not everyone was satisfied. Critics pointed out that this was the second time something like this had happened. Yep, if this all feels familiar, it's because back in April, As Ever had a nearly identical mishap during the launch of their first honey product. That rollout also resulted in oversold orders, refund emails, and some damage control. So now fans and followers are starting to ask, is this just growing pains for a new brand? Or a pattern? The whole vibe is starting to feel less like curated exclusivity and more like avoidable chaos. And when you're dealing with luxury pantry goods at premium prices, customers expect a flawless experience. A $30 rosé or $25 jam better not come with checkout issues, you know? And just when you think it couldn't get more awkward, wait until you hear how Meghan personally responded to all of this.
Can you believe that she would release an alcohol product, launch this big brand on Diana's birthday, who died at the hands of a drunk driver?
It is so tone deaf, but I'm not surprised because everything this couple does is tone deaf. Everything they do just reeks of hypocrisy.
So after the jam fiasco started trending, Meghan actually did something people weren't expecting. She sent out a personal apology. Yep, emails went out directly to customers, and it wasn't some bland PR copy. Meghan herself addressed the issue, acknowledging the frustration and thanking buyers for their patience. She wrote that she was deeply sorry for the inconvenience and hoped people would still enjoy the product as a gift, free of charge. Now, that definitely softened things for some fans. People online were like, okay, at least she's owning it, and praised the move as classy. But others weren't convinced. Some were like, that's great, but how many times are we going to do this? Because let's not forget, this isn't just about jam. The earlier launch of her signature honey also had supply issues. And now with the wine drop and website problems piling on, people are starting to see a pattern. One TikTok user even joked that Meghan's brand was turning into American Riviera out of stock. And honestly, it kinda stuck. There's a growing sentiment that As Ever is leaning too hard on the idea of exclusivity without having the infrastructure to back it up. Which is risky, especially when the whole brand identity is built on being polished, reliable, and curated to perfection.
And self-involvement, self-interest, and using Princess Di's birthday for any sort of product launch, I think, is in bad taste, let alone something like this, which is obviously anyone with any sort of sense would go, wait a second, that's...
And it's not just fans talking. Marketing analysts have also started weighing in. One expert said the repeated refund cycles could hurt long-term trust in the brand. Another said that for a celebrity business, this kind of thing might fly once, but not again and again. Especially not when you're charging boutique prices for pantry items you could technically buy at Trader Joe's for way less. It's also worth noting that behind the scenes, the brand reportedly had to switch fulfillment partners because of these issues. So yeah, it's clear that Meghan's team is trying to fix things. But public perception moves fast, and in the age of online shopping receipts and viral callouts, a few glitches can spiral into something much bigger. And it doesn't help that the drama didn't stop at just the jars or the wine. There's something else going on behind the curtain. Something that's calling the whole brand image into question. So now let's talk about the deeper issue here, because this isn't just about a wine label or a jam jar anymore. A lot of people are starting to ask, what even is As Ever? And is Meghan Markle trying to build a luxury brand, or just throwing together aesthetic pantry items and hoping for the best? It all started earlier this year when the brand originally showed up under the name American Riviera Orchard. A mouthful, yeah, but it had a certain old-school California charm to it. There were leaks of embroidered linen napkins, a very curated Instagram debut, and rumors of cookbooks and homeware coming soon.
Yes, she may be a duchess or whatever, but at some point, even the people who love you the most are just gonna go, no, I don't wanna have anything to do with this brand.
But fast forward a few weeks, and suddenly the name changed. Quietly. No formal rebrand post, no announcement, just a switch to As Ever. And that's where things got messy. Not only did the name change confuse people, but it also sparked trademark issues. Reports say smaller businesses with similar names started raising concerns. One tiny lifestyle brand in New Jersey even filed a challenge. And then, if that wasn't enough, Meghan's team started buying up related domain names in bulk, raising eyebrows in the small biz community and making it look like damage control. People started asking, is this just another celeb brand doing the whole fake exclusivity thing? Or is there something more intentional here, like trying to scrub the old name and reinvent the vibe before it even got going? Either way, it's giving brand identity crisis. There were also whispers about staff shakeups happening behind the scenes. A few PR insiders noted that the team around Meghan's brand has seen turnover since the spring. That includes switching up communications people and even bringing on someone who worked with The Crown, which, let's be honest, feels like a direct flex toward the royals whether she meant it that way or not. So yeah, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes noise that's now bleeding into the public image. From the name confusion to the rollout issues, it's becoming harder for fans, or even just curious shoppers, to figure out what this brand really stands for. And as we'll get into next, even the new product releases can't escape the chaos. So here's the real issue nobody's sugarcoating anymore. When it comes to Meghan's brand, people are starting to wonder, is it all just hype without the substance? Because at the end of the day, cute packaging and celebrity buzz can only take a brand so far.
Just shows the incredible poor taste, and there is nothing this woman won't do to chase a headline. And I think it's an absolute disgrace that Harry is not standing up and saying, enough's enough, Meghan, that is just one step too far.
The real test? Trust. And right now, that trust is looking a little shaky. The pattern is starting to show. Big launch, instant sellout, social media frenzy, followed by glitches, delays, refunds, and frustrated customers. And while it might seem like a luxury brand problem, we sold out because it's exclusive, a lot of consumers aren't buying that anymore. Especially not when this happens every time something goes live. Let's be real, people expect better from a high-profile brand. If you're charging $30 for a single bottle of rosé or $25 for jam, the experience needs to feel elevated, not like a flash sale where the checkout page crashes and your order gets lost in the void. And it's not just casual shoppers who are noticing, industry experts have started speaking out too. One retail analyst warned that repeated fulfillment failures can destroy brand loyalty, even faster than a bad product can. Another pointed out that if the customer experience isn't fixed, Meghan risks being labeled as just another celebrity cashing in on curated aesthetics without delivering real value. The other danger? People get bored. If every launch is limited and every drop is chaos, it stops feeling special and starts feeling predictable. And when that happens, people move on. Fast. What's more, the backlash isn't just staying on TikTok or Reddit.
Isn't this the sort of thing that Harry would usually be the first to get really upset and offended by? Like, if anyone else did it, it would be like, oh, they're clearly deliberately doing this to get at me and to make them... Like, it just seems very strange. Like, he obviously must have known.
Mainstream media is picking up on it. Headlines like Meghan Markle forced to issue refunds and critics slam cruel timing of rosé launch are circulating everywhere. And those headlines stick. Way more than an Instagram story about artisanal apricot spread. So now Meghan's facing a crucial question: can her brand course correct before people lose faith entirely? Or has the internet already made up its mind? Because while the next product is already in the pipeline, the real challenge might not be making it beautiful. It's making sure people actually want to buy it again. So the big question now is, what's next for Meghan Markle and her as-ever empire? Because like it or not, the spotlight isn't going anywhere, and neither is the pressure. According to insiders, Meghan's next move is expanding the wine line. Yep, we're talking sparkling rosé, a white blend, maybe even some limited edition gift boxes just in time for the holidays. And honestly, that could be huge. If they can get the rollout right this time. The demand is clearly there. Her rosé sold out in under an hour. People want to be part of the lifestyle she's creating. But if the same tech issues, shipping chaos, and confusing branding show up again, it's going to test even her most loyal fans. And that's not all. There are whispers that Meghan's also planning to launch a curated homeware collection. Think linens, ceramics, maybe a cookbook. Basically, she's trying to create a full lifestyle vision. Some say it's giving Gwyneth Paltrow meets Oprah, while others say it feels like another attempt to find her post-royal identity. But the real question is, will the public follow her there? Because right now, it's clear that people are curious, but they're also skeptical. The back-to-back controversies, the awkward timing, the clunky e-commerce experience, it's all piling up. And even though Meghan has the kind of name recognition most brands would dream of, it can only do so much if the follow-through isn't there.
Birthday, and then
But the 1st of July, just even the US have a different financial year to us. So their financial year is January to December. So it's not even launched because of a financial.
I think the take-home message is that Princess Diana was born on the first day of the financial year,
In
which
Australia.
I'm sure speaks to some kind of weird cosmic significance.
Still, if there's one thing Meghan's proven, it's that she's not backing down. Every time she gets hit with criticism, she seems to find a way to pivot. Whether it's a new product, a new image, or a direct message to fans, she's keeping the narrative moving, and that alone keeps her relevant in a space where people fade fast. So now, all eyes are on her next release. Will it be a redemption moment for the brand? A clean, smooth launch that finally delivers on the promise of luxury and intention? Or will it be yet another oops that leaves customers rolling their eyes and asking, why does this keep happening? Either way, people are watching closely. So at this point, it's pretty clear. Meghan Markle's brand is in that tricky space where everyone's talking, but not all of it is good. Between the wine backlash, the jam refund mess, the branding confusion, and the growing doubts about execution, As Ever is under more scrutiny than ever before. Now, whether you think this is just the usual growing pains of a new celebrity brand or something deeper, like a disconnect between image and delivery, it's hard to deny the pattern that's starting to form. Meghan's team clearly knows how to launch a product. The hype is there, the visuals are polished, and the vibe feels aspirational. But where it's falling apart is in the details, the very thing luxury branding is supposed to get right. And that's what makes this so interesting. Because Meghan isn't just selling wine and spreads, she's selling a lifestyle, a narrative, a feeling, something that says, this is elegance, this is authenticity, this is what living well looks like. But if every launch ends with delays, apologies, and damage control, that feeling starts to fade, fast. And let's not ignore the timing either. Launching alcohol on Diana's birthday, crashing websites during limited drops, making fans feel left out or misled. All of this is shaping the way people see the brand and Meghan herself. Some are calling it tone deaf, others are calling it strategic. But either way, the headlines are stacking up, and they're not all pretty. So, what do you guys think? Is this just early chaos from a brand that's still finding its footing? Or is Meghan Markle's luxury empire showing signs of cracking before it's even fully built? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you here for the aesthetic and the vibe, or are you over the drama and delays? Either way, it looks like Meghan isn't slowing down. The next drop is coming, the spotlight's not fading, and the stakes are only getting higher. Thanks for watching, and you already know, we'll be keeping a close eye on what happens next. So stay tuned, hit that like button if you made it this far, and I'll see you in the next one.